Aldo Moro was a statesman at the center of Italy's most dangerous political gamble. It was March 16, 1978. On a bright Roman morning, Moro's small motorcade turned down Via Fani and into an ambush. Masked members of the Red Brigades, an urban guerrilla group, opened fire with military precision. 5 of Moro's bodyguards were killed. The former prime minister, architect of a planned historic compromise to bring the Italian Communist Party into a governing majority, was dragged into a waiting van and vanished. For 55 days, Rome held its breath. The Red Brigades announced they had captured a symbol they hated, the Christian Democrat establishment. They kept Moro in a clandestine people's prison and released dozens of letters and statements from him. Those letters were raw and intimate, pleading for negotiation, accusing his own party of abandoning him, and describing the world he saw from behind the captor's walls. The government refused. For a country already exhausted by political violence, the decision was existential: open a path to bargaining with terrorists, or stand firm and risk losing a commanding voice in the nation's political life. The conspiracy at the story's center unfolded on 2 levels. The Red Brigade's internal plot was simple and brutal: kidnap the most prominent Christian Democrat available to force prisoner exchanges and to strike a blow at the state's legitimacy. Their leader in the operation, Mario Moretti, later explained the tactical choices and the killing as part of revolutionary logic. They staged a show trial in secret, and on May 9, 1978, Moro's body was discovered in the trunk of a blue Fiat 130 parked on Via Caetani, symbolically placed between the headquarters of the Christian Democrats and the Communists. The second darker web of conspiracy grew from the gaps and errors around the rescue effort. Investigations revealed bungled leads, delayed raids, and intelligence failures. A crucial tip pointed investigators toward an apartment in Via Gradoli. The resulting police action was misdirected, and questions lingered about why promising leads were not followed to their conclusion. Whispers of interference by elements inside Italy's secret services, of foreign intelligence unease at the prospect of communists sharing power in NATO's backyard, and of a strategy of tension that manipulated chaos to protect the status quo, all circulated. These claims never produced conclusive proof linking the state to Moro's death, but they hardened public suspicion and left a stain of ambiguity over the official record. The trial aftermath was another slow, ugly unspooling. Many Red Brigades members were arrested and convicted. Some turned state's evidence years later. Moretti and others were imprisoned. Yet the hard questions, who knew what, who delayed which operation, and whether parts of the security apparatus deliberately obstructed rescue, remained partly unanswered. Documents were declassified decades later, but for many Italians, the mystery never closed. Historically, the Moro affair reshaped Italy. A potential shift toward inclusion of the communists was stalled. The political center retrenched, and the scars of violence deepened a national paranoia. The images endure, the Via Fani streets slick with morning light and blood. Moro's handwritten pleas read aloud on the radio, and the Fiat 130 parked like a cold admonition between 2 political temples. This is not just a story of terrorists and victims. It is a story of a fragile democracy confronted by extremism, of choices that echo for generations, and of the brittle boundary between governance and survival. 55 days in a secret room, dozens of letters pleading for humanity, and a nation left to argue over culpability. Some answers arrived in courtrooms, others remain in the silence between files, in the unexplained delays, and the conspiratorial imagination of a country that, for a brief time, watched a statesman become a bargaining chip and then a warning.